System alert. We're detecting critical errors across the network. Now, I want you to forget flesh and blood for a moment. Think of your body as a biological operating system, a bio-OS, running on billions of lines of code, refined over millennia. And right now, that system, it's throwing a fatal exception. So, when core processes like your energy production or digestion start to fail, we don't just guess what's wrong, we run diagnostics. We have to isolate the corrupted code and find the root cause of this system-wide lag and these memory leaks. Okay, let's dive in. The scan is just about complete. And there it is. The diagnostic has flagged a primary threat. It looks like a malicious piece of code that's been injected into the system from an outside source. We're calling it the glyphosate attack vector. So this chemical agent, glyphosate, it's the active ingredient in some of the world's most common herbicides. It is everywhere in our environment, and its method of system infiltration is, frankly, devastatingly effective. We're only now really beginning to understand the full extent of the damage. So how does this malware actually work? Well, it doesn't target our human cells directly. Oh no, it's much smarter than that. It launches a precision strike on a critical subroutine running in our gut bacteria, a process called the shikimate pathway. This process is absolutely essential for their survival and their function. Now get this, because this is where it gets crazy. The sheer scale of the vulnerability is just staggering. A 2021 study confirmed what our diagnostic is telling us. A full 54% of the core species that make up your gut microbiome, your internal software, are susceptible to this exact attack. That means over half of your primary defenses have a known and very dangerous exploit. And this table really illustrates the tactical genius of this malware. It inhibits an enzyme, EPSPS, and just wipes out your beneficial bacteria. And what's worse, it does this even at doses regulators have called safe. This creates a huge power vacuum, allowing more resistant pathogenic code to take over and execute, leading to a state of total system imbalance, what we call dysbiosis. An attack on one tiny subroutine might seem minor, but in a complex bio-OS like ours, it triggers a chain reaction. We're now looking at a cascading failure event, and it's spreading from the gut to every single corner of the system. With those beneficial bacteria, the system's core driver files, being deleted, fundamental operations are compromised, communication breaks down, the very foundation of your operating system is now completely unstable. So what's the next failure? The gut's security protocol. The intestinal lining, our primary firewall, it starts to weaken. This is that leaky gut scenario you might have heard about. Unauthorized packets, we're talking toxins, undigested food particles, they're now flooding the main line, triggering system-wide inflammation alerts. And this is the most critical error of all. The breach has reached the core power grid, your mitochondria. These are the tiny power plants inside your cells. With the whole system under constant inflammatory attack and starved of key resources from the gut, the grid is failing. The power drain it's catastrophic. Research shows that in a microbiome-depleted environment, ATP energy generation can literally plummet by up to 40%. This isn't just you feeling tired. This is a brownout at the cellular level. Every single function in your bio-OS is now running on emergency backup power. The key here is that this isn't just speculation. Sources confirm that glyphosate directly impairs mitochondrial function and can even trigger apoptosis, which is basically the self-destruct sequence for your own cells. The malware isn't just crashing the system, it's physically deleting the hardware. Okay, system damage is extensive, but the bio-OS, it's designed for recovery. It's time to stop diagnosing and start executing a counteroffensive. We are initiating the recovery protocol now. So, the recovery protocol is a 3-phase sequence. Phase 1, we purge the malicious code. Phase 2, we reinstall the core biotic drivers. And Phase 3, we reboot the mitochondria power grid. Simple as that. All right, step 1, execute toxin purge. We can't repair a system that's still under attack, right? So we deploy agents known as binders, things like modified zeolites or activated charcoal. They basically act like these tiny molecular sponges, absorbing and trapping the glyphosate malware right there in the GI tract so it can be safely escorted out of the system. Step 2 is reinstalling the drivers. With the threat neutralized, we can finally begin reconstruction. We deploy 2 key assets here. Prebiotics. These are indigestible fibers. They are the fuel and the raw materials. Then you have probiotics, live beneficial strains, and they're the technicians. They use that fuel to rebuild the firewall and restore all those core functions. Now this is the most important output of the entire process. When the probiotic technicians consume that prebiotic fuel, they produce postbiotics. We're talking about compounds like butyrate. And this isn't just waste, it's the primary repair signal. It is the medicine that communicates directly with your cells to kick off the final phase of recovery. So with the recovery protocol running, we can now monitor the system as it comes back online. And the results? It's a complete reversal of that cascading failure we saw before. We are achieving a full system restoration. And here's exactly how that postbiotic signal reboots the power grid. First, butyrate triggers something called mitophagy. That's a cleanup protocol to dismantle damaged mitochondria. Then it activates PGC1 alpha, the master command for building new hardware. And finally, biogenesis kicks in, constructing a new, upgraded, and highly efficient power grid. And the final diagnostic confirms it all. System status restored. Digestion is no longer corrupted. It's optimized. Oxidative stress is no longer high, it's balanced. And the mitochondrial power grid is no longer draining, it is fully online and operational. So the real takeaway here, the crucial point is this. Your gut isn't separate from your cells, it's the command line interface. Rebuilding your microbiome is the actual code you write to directly instruct your cells to upgrade their own hardware and build a more powerful, more resilient system. The diagnostic is complete. The recovery protocol is available. Your biological operating system is compromised, but it is not broken. The only question left is, will you take command?